This is being recorded on June 4th, 2016. It's called Shocking. Just shocking. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. The famous line uttered by Claude Rains in the film Casablanca, when he learns there is gambling going on in Rick's American Cafe. And that's just before he's handed his bribery money, supposedly run at the roulette wheel. Are there other things going on that are just as shocking, that everyone knows about, but are considered the worst kept secrets? Let's see. It's shocking that a former ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton, would say that, quote, when we ask the question, who is responsible for the tragedy of the murder of U.S. Ambassador Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans in Benghazi, there is a very clear answer. It was Hillary Clinton, unquote. It was, after all, her responsibility as Secretary of State at the time to see that the security of not just the buildings that the department used and or owned, but also the personnel assigned to those buildings. The clouded stories that came out of the State Department and also from Susan Rice on those Sunday morning shows were obviously a cover-up. Mrs. Clinton had stated on at least one occasion that Chris Stevens was a personal friend. Do you ignore a personal friend's frantic requests for help, pretty much knowing that by not answering, he was going to be killed? Is it shocking to hear the present Secretary of State, John Lurch Kerry, thanking the Iranians for capturing our sailors? Once again, the current administration has shown a complete lack of spine and testicles when it virtually bows to Iran, and not just over the 2 riverboats. Lurch has all but jumped into bed with the Iranians on the nuclear arms deal that was signed, in which Iran got just about everything it wanted, and the United States got nothing that it should have wanted, but was afraid to ask about. Somehow, somewhere, there should be a reckoning for government officials who make deals that are detrimental to this country with another country that is our sworn enemy. Oh, wait, isn't that called treason? I think it is, and I think many of the current administration could be charged with that, along with high crimes and misdemeanors. Whatever can be scraped up should be. And let's put the criminals behind bars, and not in some country club prison either. In this country, and in most civilized countries, and that translates into places where Sharia is not the dominant law, it's considered a crime to beat your wife. Not so in Sharia-compliant nations where the Quran rules. As an example, here's an excerpt from the Quran, and I quote, "And beat them," unquote, for things like not having sex with you when you feel like it. The beating must stop if the woman complies with her husband's demand. Behind verbal abuse and abandonment, beating is intended as a last resort solution to coerce submission. As shocking as that is, consider this. If a woman is raped, she needs 4 male witnesses to the rape to prove that it was not her fault. How about this? In a legal matter, the woman has only half the worth of testimony as the man. You can imagine how that might affect distributing the estate of a wealthy Muslim, eh? Islam claims that there can only be world peace when the entire world is under Muslim rule, and that means a virtual, and sometimes literal, return to the 7th century, the world of Muhammad. Could lawyers, especially lawyers that work for the Department of Justice, be unethical? I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Back in May of this year, the 19th to be exact, a federal judge ordered the Justice Department to send its lawyers back to remedial ethics classes Thursday after finding that the administration repeatedly misled the court in the high-profile challenge to President Obama's deportation amnesty. Judge Andrew S. Hannon said the lawyers knew the administration was approving amnesty applications, but actively hid that information from both him and from the 26 states that had sued to stop the amnesty. Worse yet, even after the court ordered a halt to the whole amnesty, the Department of Homeland Security approved several thousand more applications in defiance of the court's strict admonition, Judge Hannon said, counting at least 4 separate times the government's attorneys misled him. He even quoted the scene from Miracle on 34th Street, when the boy is called to testify to Santa's existence and says, "Everyone knows not to tell a lie to the court." Judge Hannon said the Justice Department lawyers have an even stricter duty. Tell the truth. Don't mislead the court, and don't allow it to be misled by others. He ordered at least 3 hours of ethics training a year and said it must be taught by at least one recognized ethics expert who is unaffiliated with the Justice Department. Obviously, the people in the Justice Department can't be trusted. The number of lawyers involved in retraining in ethics is rumored to be about 10,000. This was excerpted from an article by Stephen Dinan of the Washington Times. Now it's come out that the State Department lied about a glitch in a recent interview. There you have it, folks. And if you think that these are aberrations of the truth, I can assure you that they're not. Are you shocked? You shouldn't be. Wake up, America. Your country needs you desperately.